he's never been sick.
That's what yeah, it's pretty bad.
Is it the one where he loses his taste? Do we know?
I don't know.
I hated that one.
And then he
Which
said
one?
he called the doctor.
When you lose your taste.
Oh,
And he couldn't, he told me last night, he called the doctor, he couldn't get into the doctor for 3 weeks.
Mhm.
Oh, that doesn't surprise
The
me.
doctor said,
Absolutely.
you go to the ER.
That's it, yeah.
I've been experiencing that too.
Can't get into anybody?
Nope.
Yeah. I'm actually supposed to go for a radioactive uptake test, and I haven't even heard back from the specialist on when that.
let's call this meeting to order. This is the public hearing for the noxious weed ordinance, and I would ask that Ryan lead us in the pledge of allegiance, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Very good.
Ellie, will you take roll call?
Yes. Patton?
Here.
Chapman?
Here.
Fox?
Here.
Drake?
Here.
Shearhart?
Here.
And you have Ring.
Tyler and Ring are absent.
Very good.
And so I need a motion to approve the agenda for this special meeting.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Do we have any public comment about the noxious weed ordinance only? Noxious weed ordinance, yeah.
So, I don't really have an issue with overgrown lawns, or some of the natural weeds that we are supposed to have in our ecosystem. So, I mean, really, my personal opinion is that we don't even need to have it, we just nix the thing. But I like to let my stuff grow longer for butterflies, insects, the things that are needed in our system. So, if you could keep that in mind when you make the decision tonight, I would appreciate it.
Yes. And the ordinance has been amended to include that it would not be appropriate to pour a bunch of poison on the weeds in order to kill them, that they should be cut. So, and so this is an update of the ordinance, and we are in, we're definitely mindful of,
This is a public hearing.
yeah, we started our public hearing, so, sorry. We're definitely mindful of the pollinators and the ecosystem, and we've got this we'll have this ordinance on the books.
And I believe we don't start enforcement of it until like June.
Right.
After the,
We don't start enforcement of it in the middle of summer.
Okay.
Okay, any other public comment about the noxious weed ordinance that we have before us for approval at this special council meeting tonight? Okay. Are we ready to vote? Are you ready to? Okay, all right. Can I have a motion from one of our members to approve the amendment of our village code?
I'll move to approve the amendment of the code.
I'll support.
All in favor of amending the village code, chapter 10, noxious weeds with ordinance number 3 of 2022, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, signify by saying nay. Motion carries. Any more public comments about the noxious weed ordinance that we have just updated and approved? Okay. I move that we adjourn this public hearing.
I'll second.
All in favor? Opposed? Okay, so our little special meeting is closed now, and we've got a couple of minutes before our other meeting begins, and I believe Ally has to swear in some council members to make us legitimate.
Yeah.
So, Ally?
Yeah, of course. All right. Michelle, will you stand for here?
No.
No, you want to go first. Which one of you two?
We'll just,
Seniority,
we
Bill.
can do it together.
There we go, do it together.
Yeah. Stand together.
Do it both same time.
I'm gonna do- no, I'm just-
Okay. Please repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state, and that I will faithfully perform the duties of the office of village trustee.
Start that again.
I'm sorry.
Pretend it's like wedding
Yeah,
vows.
we'll break it up some more. In the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of the state.
and that I will faithfully perform the duties of the office of council trustee.
Basically, perform the duties of village trustee.
Good,
That's it.
there we go. All right.
All right, Michelle. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will faithfully perform the duties of the office of village trustee.
and that I will faithfully perform the duties of the office of village trustee.
Very good.
That's it?
That's it. And then you'll sign it afterwards.
All right.
I'll do Nick later.
Okay.
No, notarize anything.
Way too much swearing.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we got 319 votes. I got 2 something, 287 or something like that, and then Mike had 240 something.
Tough vote getter, Bill.
Yeah, Bill?
Amy, I heard you had some write-in votes.
I did
Amy had some write-in votes?
a very small percentage.
All right.
I just didn't make the deadline in time, and I had lots of stuff going on with health and family members,
like
so
also
I
it's like
didn't
post
end up
number.
getting it filed on.
That's like so off of the, one of the like.
One of the open seats,
Of the,
village council.
oh, okay.
How are you? Good. There's not an extra chair back there, clean ladies.
So we have a few minutes before we start our regular meeting. Move about the room.
And then people, please take the supplies on the table. Consumers sent it to us and they oversent. Help yourself, please. I've been looking at them for a very long time.
Definitely. Exit sign.
So yeah, we have like 4 other boxes there just full of them. I don't know what to do.
That took a whole box.
Yeah, take a whole box, honestly. Take a whole box. Take a whole box.
You need an exit sign at your house.
My parents' house is a temporary wall right through this big, like, apartment slash complex.
Yeah.
Because as soon as they get down there, that hurricane hits.
Oh, yeah.
And through water ran down the backside of the main strip of that wall. And was ruined all the insulation. That's where all
Wow. Should stayed here. We've had a beautiful fall here.
Still, I mean, still, last time he was here and we installed it in October, right? So. This year.
I did want an option. Like ask a question and then encourage them to choose so-and-so. If it's not on the agenda tonight, so they get.
Anything you want, just don't swear, please.
I tried to keep that preventable. I actually had a big swear, you know, I completely hurt my ears, my head. Oh, gosh, shut it off and find out.
I feel like so too, like I feel like a toddler, but I mostly like Disney movies, so like, right, they don't make me feel, they make me feel,
Right, right. Well, I mean, there's really unnecessary, it's common if people get angry.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm real bad. I can. Everyone, and even if the new ones.
My dad is so funny. He will, like, every time he swears in front of a lady, he'll always apologize, but for me, no, absolutely not. He's just like, whatever.
Right. Well, you know, our family. Gotta love them.
Gotta love them. Thank you.
I see,
And that's pretty much what I got for you.
Good. Thank you.
Yep.
John Schutz with the DPW.
Yeah, October's a pretty active month. Started shutting down our waters, Camp Park shut down, started blowing everything out. Got a little asphalt paving done to West Street and Cameron and the park. If anybody's seen that, it looks real nice. We also started, we're fortunate to get a little grant money. And we started doing some potholing, looking for part of our lead service line stuff. So we've done 58 lines so far, and we're gonna do about 106 more next year. Basically kind of doing some randoms. We've got a pretty good idea where to look for stuff, but this is just going around and confirming that. And then, once we get that, as we got our list where we think everything at, sent some letters out today or this week. But once we get more done, we're gonna work on a plan for replacements, which will happen over the next 15 years.
John, did you get good participation in the photographing their people photograph or sending you photographs of their?
Not really. That's why we keep sending it out. I got a few, but we did the house. We got some, yeah. I was hoping for more, but
And so the only lead pipes that we found are gooseneck.
yeah, there's no
lead,
actual lead lines in town.
no lead
But
lines
they're
in
like
town.
in early 20s and like 30s and 40s, they use what they call the gooseneck from the water main to the service line because it's flexible. There is some of them around town. We're pretty sure where they're all at, but that's another thing we're going just checking.
You galvanized in that too? Or?
Yeah, so if it's just galvanized, okay, but if that was ever hooked to a galvanized line, that's what we have to replace. But if it's an old galvanized line just straight to the main, we don't have to replace it. So if we think that there's a possibility that's gonna go on our list and that's gonna get replaced down the road.
And so we've notified, or we've sent letters to 21 people that we've actually, 21 properties that we've confirmed there's a lead gooseneck, but it's not anything like the Flint water stuff, nothing like that at all.
No, we test right now, we're on a 3-year testing schedule, and we've never had a detect on lead.
Never had a detection of lead in Central Lake water. Okay.
So if we had, we'd be doing a yearly schedule. A lot of villages are on a yearly, but right now we're on a 3-year. And that's off our Eagle, list we get from Eagle.
Okay. And then we'll be notifying homeowners that if it's an unknown gooseneck and it's gonna be replaced, we have to notify them of that as well.
Yep.
Okay. And the letters that the EPA would like us to send out are pretty, quite a serious tone that might inflict terror in our hearts. And so we're anticipating many questions from people that might get these letters, but we want to assure everybody that there's no lead in Central Lake water. We are just replacing goosenecks, which are one part of the process, and it's a time-consuming process, and all other towns are going through the same thing.
Right.
That all
Yeah, so
accurate?
we're pretty sure the areas where they're at.
Okay.
Like I said,
Yes, because we replaced a bunch of these already in the 80s and 90s, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So, but we don't have really clear records on which ones actually got replaced.
Yep. But anyways, it still would have some galvanized in the meter pit, so we still have to.
Yep. Yep.
And if we do find it, it's the village or city's responsibility to change it from the main into the house.
Okay.
Even on some that have already had new water mains, so it's a new to the main, to the meter pit, we'll be doing a lot of partials from the meter pit into the house. Well, something to do yet too.
Okay. Okay.
Other than that, if people ask, I mean, obviously we test water every year and then results are available if people ask.
We publish them in the paper.
Publishing paper, and well, she has a copy and I, of course, I have copies,
And
I
on
have-
our website too.
Yeah.
On the website, I have copies available in the lobby as well.
so. We test for different things throughout the year, so but that is all available if people want to see it.
Thanks.
Is that on our website?
Yes.
Cool, yeah, CCRs are on the website too.
Absolutely.
Thanks, John. Okay, so Personnel Committee, an update on the Chief of Police position. The application window closes tomorrow. We've had many qualified applicants seeking the position. What I'm asking the council to do is to review the applications and make a note of the 3 that you would like to interview, that you think are most qualified and would be the best fit for Central Lake. The applicants are public knowledge, or not public knowledge, they are FOIA-able. However, because it's personnel, if anybody wanted to FOIA the applications, we would have to redact, cut out the names and the phone numbers and the contact information. So just, out of respect for the applicants, if we could be mindful of their privacy, although if somebody would like to look at all the applications, they are more than welcome to FOIA them and to do that. So the council is asked to stop by the office to look over the applications, read the letters of that thing, that letter that you send, the cover letter, and to give Ally their recommendations of who we should interview. And then after that, we'll do the preliminary vetting of the candidates to, make sure that they intend, that they're still interested and that they have the right credentials to even be interviewed. And then, as we planned, we'll have the interviews on December 7th here at the village office, and we'll have, you all have the list of questions, and we'll have a personnel committee meeting before that to make sure that we're all, that we select the questions so that the interview process goes according to procedure. Okay, so that's the update on the chief position. And we're also, because of all the paperwork that's due at the end of the year, we're asking that you approve Nick to be made the interim chief between now and the time we hire the new chief. So he's got the credentials to file the paperwork that the state requires. Now, the second thing for personnel is the DPW. We have a need to hire a 4th DPW person. One of our DPW members is quite ill. He's continuing to work. He has stage 4 cancer. And so some days he's with it and some days that he's more tired. And so we would like to hire and, hire the 4th person to be able to assist and to eventually replace our really sick DPW person who is going to pass away. So that's the DPW report. So any questions for me?
No.
Okay. Kip, sewer and water, you had a very productive meeting last week.
Yes, it was a very productive meeting with a lot of input from public attendees. I plan on having another meeting to go over some numbers and stuff to present to the board rates. We have some pretty expensive projects that we're going to have to come up with funding for.
That we're required to.
That we're required to, basically, but it was productive and got a lot of input, and we'll come up with some ideas and to present to the board for next month's meeting. So,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions for water and sewer?
Do we ever think that there will be any money available through the state to replace these lead lines that every city in Michigan has?
we are, I mean, we're constantly looking for grants, and that's how we got a grant to, look at the, do the inspections of these. Yeah, we're gonna have to look at all avenues, really. It's not, it's a very expensive thing, and so, like I said, I've got some ideas and we'll present them.
Like a bake sale.
Yeah, yeah. It'd be nice, but I don't. So, like, to replace these lines, you said they were anywhere from 6,000 to 12,000 a piece. Is that, depending on what they are?
Yeah.
So,
Well, of course, the more we do at one time, the better.
right, but it's still,
So remember you gotta cut into roads, sidewalks,
Yes.
in the house, it's just,
there's,
that's part of the reason the grant money is that we hire a company with a back truck, less than basic, just doing holes instead of back hose, making a mess,
yeah,
chance of hitting things.
Yep.
And, finding lines underground is very, very frustrating.
yes, it is.
Now, is that something that we'll do on our own, or will we subcontract it out?
The
To
lines,
replace some of the lines,
I mean, we might be able to do some of them, but it's gonna have to be conscious, it's way more,
more equipment than we got.
yeah.
John, do they ever use directional drilling?
Yes.
Oh, for sure. Once you start talking, get on the road, you're gonna have to go on the roads and,
Right.
or pullers, or even some of them you'll be able to pull the old line out while you're doing it, so. There's some, obviously, a lot of houses are on slabs.
And like with the boring, it's a little less invasive on the, I mean, you're still gonna have some restoration, but we're,
Not less.
But just like we just put a water line to the new schoolhouse, and that was 8 foot of sidewalk had to come out. Then like most of ours are gonna be under M88, so. That new road, brand new road's gonna have to get tore up.
Thanks for everything you're doing with that. And thanks to the sewer and water committee for looking so hard at this and committing to do the right thing and make the village a better place and updated water. And sewer also is part of that. I had a question. Anyway. Okay, anything else for the sewer and water committee? Okay, I think we can. No correspondence.
Can I talk about something?
Yes.
I wasn't here last month at the meeting, and there was a group of people here that wanted to redo the pickleball courts.
Yes.
I met with Carol Engel up there one afternoon after work, and she had 2 bids from 2 companies that she presented last month, but them 2 companies, their bid wasn't complete on everything that needed done. So she contacted a company called Pro Surfaces out of Harrison, Michigan, and they came back with a bid that was total complete work, including post, fencing, and everything, for $47,000. The highest bid on the other company out of Traverse City was $36,000, but that wasn't everything needed. This bid, I've talked to Rob about it a couple of times. This bid is good for the whole 2025 season. So we will discuss it at budget time and stuff like that. So I just wanted to bring that out, that I do have a current bid.
Okay, thanks. Anything else? Okay, now let's look at the bills. Our prepaid bills are quite high at this time because it includes all of the paving that was done on Chestnut and West Street, known in the village as Westnut Street. The new plans. And so that's why the prepaid is so high. And whenever you're ready, I'll entertain a motion. Pay those.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills as presented.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? You wanna do a roll call vote?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
sure.
Spend the money.
Let's, we're spending money.
Patton,
Yes.
Ring, Fox,
Yes.
Drake,
Yes.
Shearhart.
Yes.
Okay, bills are paid. Old business, I wanted to give you, an update on window night, which is coming up very quickly. It's the Wednesday after Thanksgiving, December 4th. There's a very, a nice cross-section of the community that kindly came to a meeting last week to get this thing planned out, and everybody's working together, and it's pretty exciting. We're going to have hay rides down at the opposite end of town, like on Brook Street. We're trying to have activities that stretch out the whole downtown area. We'll have the road closed. Santa and Mrs. Santa will arrive by fire truck in a very exciting way at 5:30, and to light the village tree that Ralph's Tree Service has taken care of and made sure the lights are all working. And also Ralph returned unused Christmas lights he had in his possession, so we could use them for other spots around town. And so then we've got Santa. We'll have like a very safe fire at the center of town, and have a weenie roast that the DDA is going to take care of. We'll have fire truck rides down by the Blue Pelican with hot chocolate for the kids. And all the businesses are doing different activities for the kids. And so it should be a nice family event, and we're hoping for nice, well, appropriate weather, which could be just about anything except rain. So that, I think, is the window night update, just trying to keep everybody in the loop and communicated with, and we hope to have everybody in the downtown area participate and feel like they're involved. We may get Buddy Dow from nowhere, but if you know him, he's like, he lives the Buddy Dow. So that'll be real cool, yeah.
We had talked about in that meeting, and thank you for spearheading that, about down at Thurston Park, since the hayride will go down through there, having some light up things.
Yep, we've already, yep. See if that's gonna happen.
And is that kind of a call to the community to maybe take a post where there's electric and be able to bring their own kind of light thing, like if you got a blow up snowman or some kind of cool little light display?
Probably not for this year. I know East Jordan does something similar, and it's a great idea.
Yeah.
This year, we're just gonna have a bunch of, we're just gonna put lights down there for the kids when they go through their hayride down through Thurston Park. And Heather from the bank is gonna borrow inflatables, so the kids have some cool things to look at and get the magic of Christmas and all that. And then I'm hoping next year we can do something where different entities sponsor different campsites and decorate them up with lights and make it look really pretty. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you. All right. Okay, so that's the window night update. Any other questions about that? Action items. We need to appoint Nick Strobel as interim police chief with an Oakwood. Oh, sorry. Okay, so we need to talk about hiring a new DPW employee, as I mentioned. Is there any discussion about that?
I just said, like, does he have any plans on leaving at this point, or is he just,
He'd like to make it to July when he turns 62.
okay,
I'm just worried if we happen to get big snowstorm this year and we're working that, it's gonna wear him out.
okay, that's
That's what I'm concerned about.
okay. But he is, in July, it's his goal, anyway, okay. That's my only question.
Have you talked to anybody found or offered to?
I think we got some interest out there, but we'll see if we get some effort.
Yeah, we've got some interest, but we still have to go through the process.
Yeah. So we'll post, it's a non-supervisory position, so we'll go through the same thing that we went through to hire Krista.
Yeah.
And it should be a quicker hiring process because the vetting is less intense. So this, after tonight, if we approve this, we'll place an ad in the Antrim Review and an ad in Indeed, and I'll work out a timeline to have the person in place. You wanted the person in place by the first of the year, do you think?
Yeah, I think around first year would be great.
So that's what we're hoping works out.
Mandated they be on the fire department too.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
There's double duties there.
Yes. Yes.
That in the job description.
Right. Anything else about that?
So we're gonna approve that under action items, correct?
Yes, I'm seeing that as our second A.
Yep.
Oh.
2A.
So we'll go, make that A and B,
Yeah.
A2.
Amazing.
All right. Anything else? All right, let's move to action items. We'd like to appoint Nick Strobel as interim police chief with a 10% wage increase while he does performs the duties of chief. Bill's made the motion,
I'll second that.
seconded by Sherhart. All in favor? All opposed?
Should we do a roll call? It includes money.
Okay,
Sorry. Patton,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Fox,
yes.
Drake,
Yes.
Sherhart.
Yes.
Okay. Motion carries. And now approve the hiring of an additional DPW employee.
I'll make that motion. With the January deadline.
I'll second that.
Let's do a roll call.
Patton,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Fox,
Yes.
Drake,
Yes.
Sherhart.
Yes.
All right, and I don't see our second spot here for public comment, but is our second spot for public comment? Yes.
Yes, earlier I forgot to include a thank you to Ally. She is doing such a wonderful job as our clerk. And I just want to tell you, I appreciate you and all your dedication to the position.
You're here. I second that. Yes.
Yeah, I just don't know if you heard the election, we have a new mayor in Ellsworth, Jerry Rasmussen,
Heard that.
beat you by 2 votes,
Everybody else.
108 to 106.
You had that position for,
Since we were in school.
I did too.
And the other interesting thing, the election, probably you guys have heard, but the Public Safety Center was turned down. This area, my commissioner district, Central Lake, Porch Lake, Banks, 55 to 45.
In favor or opposed?
Opposed. Countywide, it was 51-49.
300 votes difference, right?
Yeah, 200 something.
So what's that, how does that affect the commissioners then? What are your thoughts? What's your next step?
We're gonna be looking at alternatives, obviously, I guess. All the way from feasibility on, is it feasible to move inmates to other jails? Yes, no. How many more years can we get out of the jail we have? How many, if we need a new jail, how big does it have to be? I think that's probably one of the comments that I've heard the most of is every year our population goes down and our proposal is for 56 beds, so.
How does the population run in the jail? Is it going down every year?
What's the size of the current jail? How many in bed size?
56.
So the new one was gonna be the same?
Exactly the same, yeah.
But were they gonna be configured differently so that, say, juvenile people weren't near, I don't know. It seemed to me like there was a rationale for why it needed to be reconfigured for legal purposes, I thought, or?
When you construct a new jail, you have to comply with all the laws that were passed since your old ones, so.
ADA accessible,
Yeah.
everything.
So we don't have to comply with that now?
There's a lot that we don't have to comply with, because ours was built in 19, I don't know if it was built, if we have to comply with when it was built or when we added on to it, so I'm not gonna say right now, but, I mean, the original was roughly 70 years old. But, yeah, looking at alternatives and options and going forward.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your reelection.
Well, that's your timer there, dear.
All
Good
right.
timing, good timing. Okay, Kelly?
All right. First of all, thanks for spearheading the Window Night Michelle.
It's gonna be
Thank you all
fun.
for your service to the board. It's a thankless job, so thank you, each of you. I just want to throw out there, and I've done this in the year, I've thrown this out there in the years past. But, you know, as a taxpayer, I continue to be not thrilled that the township continues to get more of my tax money every year than the village itself. And the township also has some houses on our water system. I don't know about the sewer system, but I don't know what the fee structure is, but when I look at this continuation of dual governments, double taxation in a municipality that doesn't, I know there's some services, but I know that they also have a huge savings that they continue to accumulate. I strongly encourage the council, and I ran into a township person, I don't know their position exactly, but long story short is I think that maybe a meeting of the minds as we're looking at this very, very large bill that is going to upset your taxpayers, that it's time to take a look at merging the municipalities, merging those bank accounts, and then looking at how, you know, looking at who's using services and all of that. But I really just, two different governmental bodies, and, you know, out of the $3,000 I may pay for one of my properties, you know, $2,200 is going to the township and the village only, and that's for one. It's a lot. So I really, if I can be at any part, I'll help, but I just want to keep throwing that out there and encouraging that discussion to take place behind whatever it is that needs to be done.
Yeah, thank you. Anybody else? Okay, now what? I'm gonna adjourn the meeting?
All support.
All right. All in favor of adjourning this meeting? Aye. All opposed? Good, meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
7:34.